Welcome to the Midlife Career Rebel, the podcast created for high-achieving professional women to gain the clarity, confidence, and courage they need to go after and get the life and career they want. I'm your host, Dr. Carol Parker Walsh, lawyer, social scientist, brand strategist, executive coach, entrepreneur, and midlife career rebel. Each week, you'll learn strategies to manage your mind, navigate the challenges of midlife, and take control of your career so you can thrive doing the work you love. So if you're ready to tear up that rule book and create your own, you're in the right place, and I can't wait to show you how. Hey, welcome to the premiere episode of the Midlife Career Rebel Podcast. I am so excited to be launching this podcast. It has been something that has been on my mind for years. It's even been something people have suggested I do for a long time. And I finally decided, you know what? Let's go for it. I'm more excited, though, that you're actually here listening in. So thanks for being here. Now, in this first episode, I want to dig into the why and the how of the podcast to also infuse a little bit of my own story and background so you know who I am if this is your first time landing here, and what you can generally expect that I'm going to be talking about in this podcast. So let's dive in. First and foremost, I think it's important that you know that I am personally on a mission to help high-achieving women at midlife unapologetically live life on their terms and to do the meaningful work that they're meant to do in the world. That has been something that has been at my heart for a long time, and it's something that I think I was put on the earth to do. And that means whether that means staying where you are, or going off on a new venture, or stepping into the entrepreneurial dream, my vision is for midlife women to unplug from what I call the career matrix. And, you know, I am referring to the movie, and if you've seen it, you will know what I'm talking about. To step into their own power so that they can be, as they say in the movie, the one. For me, the career matrix, as I define it, is that set of patriarchal old vocational rules in the paradigm that we all grew up in, right? It's the idea that you go to school, you get a good, quote unquote, respectable job, because it has to be someone everyone approves of, right? Play the corporate game, climb that career ladder, make lots of money, and then maybe when you retire, you can actually do what you love or do whatever you're excited about, or really what you may have been meant to do all along. But that's assuming by the time you get to that place that you haven't crashed, burned out, trying to be something you're not, following other people's ideas of success, or falling prey to imposter syndrome or perfectionism or any of those other things that they put upon us to be, or playing the quote unquote corporate game that really wasn't even written for you or by you or meant for you. And by the way, the rules keep changing, so how can you keep up with them anyway? But for me, those who are ready to unplug from the career matrix and become a career rebel are those who have said to hell with the prevailing wisdom that you just need to hang in there, pay your dues, work more and harder, sacrifice your mental and physical health, along with sacrificing your family and your happiness, and just hang in there by sheer grit and willpower, and that you're going to make it through. And the reason this podcast is focused on high-achieving professional women at midlife is because you, my friends, like me, have grown up in that time where we fell for that shit. Oh, and by the way, I do drop a few choice words, so every now and again, so brace yourself. So if you're going to start following me, be prepared. But we fell for this. And yes, we've achieved success, but we also feel trapped by it. We feel unfulfilled, scared, and unsure how to get out of the situation that we've actually created for ourselves, or even what to do next. And at this age and stage in the game and in our lives, we don't know how to leverage our brilliance or reposition ourselves for what we really want to do. And we also have to deal with all the haters and naysayers out there and in our own minds that are telling us to stay put, to settle, that you'll be fine, that it's not about you, that focus on maybe the next generation or your kids, or you're too old, or again, wait until you retire and then maybe you can enjoy your life and have fun. Well, bullshit. I call bullshit on that. If you're like me, you're not interested in living a quote unquote good enough life, or for settling. Listen, we only get one bite at the apple. Why would we spend it not at our highest level being the best versions of ourselves? I know you deserve more, and you know you deserve more. So why not go for it? Why not have it? Now, the second thing, so that's basically what I'm about fundamentally. And that's my mantra, that's my mission, and that's why I'm here. Now, second, I jokingly refer to myself as overeducated. Having earned 2 doctorates, one in jurisprudence, which is a fancy word for law, with a focus on employment, labor law, and employment discrimination litigation, and another in human development and social systems, with an emphasis on gender and racial identity development and structural inequity. I also have 2 masters, one in human development and the other in organizational development. And I've earned postdoctorate certificates at Harvard, Oxford, and Dartmouth's Tuck School of Business. I've been trained in group dynamics and the psychology of team development, applied social psychology, as well as image consulting, brand management and development, career, corporate, and executive coaching. And I'm also a certified life coach through the Life Coach School. I've also held positions as an HR director, executive recruiter, organizational consultant, director of diversity and professional development. I've been an employment and labor attorney, as I've said, an associate professor, academic director, where I've directed graduate level programs, and an associate dean. I've also ran 3 successful award-winning businesses in the last 20 years. I've personally worked in healthcare, transportation, nonprofit, governmental agencies, law and direct sales, and academic in all of those industries. And I've coached leaders in all of those industries, as well as in pharma, financial, and the tech industries. Now, I'm sharing all of that background with you to say that when it comes to the life and career experiences of women, I have a unique understanding, experience, knowledge, and perspective from a theoretical, methodological, practical, hands-on, and emotional side. So I'm able to look at individuals in their employment and career through multiple lenses to provide a multiple perspective so that you can get clear on the direction that's right for you. This allows me to understand not only what's going on or what's happening in the moment, but also the why that is happening and how to change it. I'm also considered a thought leader and expert in this area by my membership as a Forbes Coach Council, on the Newsweek Expert Forum, as part of the Harvard Business Review Advisory Council, and Entrepreneurs Leadership Network. I've been on the TEDx stage, and by the way, you can find my TED Talk, What Did You Leave Behind, on my YouTube channel. I'm an international keynote and speaker, an author, and have coached a Grammy Award winner and Paralympic gold medalist. Truly a lot of fun. Stories that are just amazing to hear about. To the outside world, it may look as if I had a lot of careers and held disparate positions, but to the multi-passionate career lover like myself and the career rebel, it's really clear that in each role that I've held, I've simply developed and honed my zone of genius. From the time that I was 22, working in a secretarial pool, wondering what my life would be like when I grew up, while working my way through college, I knew then that I wanted to help people enjoy, be respected, and rewarded for what they did. And I also wanted to help organizations to create a space where that was possible. And nothing has really changed over the last 30 years. I still help my clients see the connection to their lives and their careers so that they can do work that they love and that they can find spaces in which they can do that work. But it wasn't until I started leaning more into mindset, thought work, and the connection to career management and development about 16 years ago, when I started my doctoral studies and ultimately through my doctoral research, that I started to see that we've been sold a bill of goods. And it's time for us to stop hiding in the shadows of other people's expectations, other people's ideas of success, and other people's ideas of career progression. And that we should start creating and realizing our own visions, purposes, and life work. That's why I created this podcast. After teaching, training, coaching, and speaking with women all over the world, I knew people weren't having this type of conversation. It was desperately needed to be had. And every time I would have the conversation, I was told, you should start a podcast. So having a career in life you love doesn't start with your resume. And that's not what this podcast is about. It starts with you, and it starts with your mind, with what you believe to be true about yourself and your career and what's possible for both, to help you see that your career is just a part of the larger ecosystem of your life. And once you're clear about that, so much more becomes available to you. So each week, I'll share insights, ideas, and real-world experiences, as well as how to navigate the challenges facing women in the world of work and the new work revolution that we're in right now. Your career requires both an inner and outer game approach. The inner game is how you deal with your thoughts around self-confidence, imposter syndrome, people-pleasing, perfectionism, and all the other mind games your brain loves to bombard you with. And we'll talk a lot more of that as we move through this podcast. The outer game includes the strategies and actions that you need to take around such things as goal setting, networking, creating boundaries, changing careers, promoting, and more, so that you can realize what it is that you really want and how you can actually get what you really want. It's imperative that you understand that your thoughts drive your feelings, which fuel the actions that you take or don't take, and that create the results in your life. This is foundational to achieving anything you want, and that's what we'll talk about each week right here on the podcast. So there you have it. That's the how, the why, the what, and a little bit about me. I have so much more to share, and I will share it in the rest of the podcast that we have coming up. You can find me here each week. And hey, if you've listened all the way through to this end, to this part, you can rest assured that you're in the right place. So please rate, comment, and subscribe so I can get the word out to others about this podcast. Thanks for listening, and until next time, have an amazingly rebellious week. If you're loving what you're learning on the podcast, then you've got to come check out the Career Rebel Academy. It's where you'll get the individual help and support you need applying the concepts and strategies you're learning here and so much more. You'll be joined by a community of other rebels just like you, and I'll be there as your guide every step of the way. If you're genuinely looking to change the course of your life and career, I promise you, this is the place you'll want to be. Just go to www.carolparkerwalsh.com/career-rebel-academy. I can't wait to see you there.